Ashtar, via Susan Leland, June 13, 2017. Ashtar on the Road teleconference. Have courage to keep going through any darkness. Well, greetings, beloved family. There certainly is a lot of shaking going on right now, is there not? And this is how it needs to be. It is necessary, imperative for everyone who is at all awake, and, if they're not, they need to wake up. I'm not talking about you, beloved ones. You're awake. But, it is that you can perhaps, by sending out your love light, or even doing something more of an activist activity, you can help others to wake up. It is not necessary to hear all of the details of what's going on, although we certainly do want to present those here on our conference calls, because we know that you can add your light to whatever the scenario is, and that, of course, is the way to accomplish the changes that are in progress now. You heard it. The progress is absolutely, exponentially moving forward. And there is no longer any free will at all available to the dark hats, because they have betrayed the trust. If you want to call it trust, it was what you would call blind trust, sound asleep trust, in their leadership, and in their, we'll say, control of planet Earth, and beyond, and so, it is that it's over, cancelled, finis and so on. And we are standing with you and moving even further. Yet we do understand, first of all, that you've got some impatience. Why isn't it getting done? Why hasn't it gotten done by now? Well? That's up to humanity. We're here to move as fast as humanity invites us to move. You will recall there is this thing called the Prime Directive, which does not allow us to intervene except in case of a genocidal holocaust and total destruction of the entire planet. However, because you have stepped up, we now have more empowerment, or authority, if you will, so long as you continue to partner with us. And indeed these are glorious times, as the Master has said, but also they can be very frightening, even to lightworkers when you are feeling the darkness around you, when you feel as though it's closing in, suffocating, even. And this is how it is sometimes before Earth dawn, the dawning of the great light. Now we have told you in times past that, as the planet ascends into higher dimensional reality, it will be a temperate climate everywhere, except upon the tallest of mountain tops, and these temperatures will be in the very comfortable 70-degree range everywhere. The deserts can flourish, the forests can be in their absolutely most majestic states of health, and offer unlimited amounts of energies of healing, and peace, and welcome to all the kingdoms. The lion shall lie down with the lamb is another kind of a picture for you to hold in your hearts. And, of course, if you want to take that one step further, who among humans represent the lions, and who represent the lambs on planet Earth? Well, the truth of it is that sometimes there have been people who have behaved, not as lions, except in the sense that they're powerful, and they have abused their power. Lions in the forest do not abuse their power, if left alone. Lions have been used as symbols of power and authority, and oftentimes by those who have abused that power. And who might the lambs be compared to except the innocent victims? Except wait a minute, everybody has cooperated through the ages in this scenario. And so, it is that everybody needs to cooperate in some way or another in rising up, and out of it. And believe me, all of the other kingdoms of Mother Gaia are doing just that. It is the kingdom of humanity that is a little bit dragging its feet, shall we say. However, that is changing. The more who wake up, the more who catch sight of the light, even if it's only a glimpse, the more energy there is for the movement to the levels where there is only light, and where of course, the love, it is. Now, for some of you, We know that there is a tendency to freeze when you are making progress on your path, and then you encounter something that is huge in the way of some kind of a blockage, or a diversion, or a stumbling block. We will remind you that you are powerful enough to go around it, go over it, walk right on through it, even though you may not know it. I'm going to give you an example. This is more of Sekhmet's domain, but I'm going to give it anyway. There was an initiation in the crocodile pool. That's right. The crocodile pool rule was that anybody who wanted to pass this particular test, and go on to become a priest, or priestess, had to go through this initiation. And the method of it was simply to dive into the pool at one end. And they were told to dive down deep, and only come up when they saw the brightest light. And they knew there were crocodiles somewhere. Some of the initiates were scared, and they saw a light coming in, and they said, "Oh, that's got to be it." Well, it was a false light. It wasn't at the true end of the pool. They went right up to where the crocodiles were, and, of course, they did not pass the test. The ones who passed were the ones who had the courage in their hearts to dive deeper because they knew that they had to go further into the darkness, the depths of the pool, and continue until they saw the brilliant white light streaming down into the pool, and, of course, they passed the test. You can see the similarities between where planet Earth is right now. There are brave souls right now who are diving deeper into the darkness, the depths, and who know there are some dangers that could reach out to them. But they surround themselves with light, and they keep focused on that light at the end, the bright light, the true light, the white light of love, the golden white light, I shall say. And they make it through. We have whistleblowers. We have people stepping up, and voicing their opinions in every, what you call, walk of life, on planet Earth. And the lid is about to be blown off of the pot, because there are those in places of influence who, if they haven't already spoken up, perhaps they whispered a bit, they're about to stand up, and with one voice they are about to start telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And, of course, this will absolutely necessitate Nisara's announcement. So people are rising up out of their fears, out of the darkness. Whistleblowers who risk their lives, and truth-tellers who are already, and will continue, to risk their lives, people who leak documents which are telling the truth about things that have been going on, people who stand before an audience, and tell it like it is, people who have a cup of tea with their neighbor, and perhaps shock them with a truth, or two, and then, because they are awake, and aware, they can explain so that it is all starting to make sense, much more sense than the crazy lies, propaganda, and untruths which have been the predominant story worldwide. Most of all, people are taking in enough of the light to open their hearts to understand that there is a higher way of life, of living, and that with it comes a lot of high-vibe gifts, including each one's own ascension. And also, living in a higher dimensional reality where, first of all, there are technologies, and then ultimately there are the inner, I'll say inner technologies, built into everyone here, every member of humanity which, as they are activated, move beyond the need for machinery, electronics, and so on of any kind, and they simply unite all people everywhere with all the kingdoms of Mother Gaia, and beyond planet Earth. And love, and all that love creates is the absolute, highest empowerment, and the only empowerment for the lifestyles of everyone here. And I can assure you this can happen very quickly. But, it is to go deeper. If you start shaking inside, if you start feeling any kind of fear, go deeper, and have the courage to do so to get past the fear-based messages that are still being broadcast by those who are still some kind of a presence here on planet Earth, and whose only real goal is to perpetuate all that people on the ascension path are leaving behind. Send them love, Send them compassion, send them gratitude for showing what there is that is needing to be changed, or, shall we say, transmuted into higher energies. And above all else, forgive them. And, while you're at it, forgive yourselves for buying into it all these eons of time, and let's move up together. And let's enjoy that which you so deserve, that wondrous peace, that wondrous bliss, that wondrous high-dimensional love, and the lifestyles that it brings to you, and from which you, in turn, proceed along your wondrous, magical, marvelous pathways. And so, it is. Salet.